Rear Admiral Das Gupta, the commander of our Eastern Fleet that has a horizon that stretches from the Eastern Indian Ocean all the way to the Pacific. To Colonel Chong, the Fleet Commander of the great Singapore Navy that is celebrating 50 years of existence. I want to congratulate you once again, as I did the other day, rising from a navy of 2 modest ships to one that is at the forefront of technology and human skills, and with its horizon that extends from leading the anti-piracy operations in the Gulf of Aden to sending its ships out into the Pacific. To the great captains of these 2 ships, Captain Jaggi and Commander Gupta, to all the sailors here, and beneath the stars, beneath the proud flags of India and Singapore, on the shores of a great country and a wonderful friend of India, on board a world-class ship that is made in India, I extend a very warm welcome to all of you. As Rear Admiral Das Gupta said, in these 12 days, Indian Navy has once again reaffirmed the strategic partnership between India and Singapore and reiterated its commitment to maritime security, stability, and peace in this region. I have to say that when you have the Chief of Naval Staff, you have 8 major Indian defense companies, 4 ships, and the most advanced maritime patrol aircraft here in Singapore, it speaks something for our commitment and for our partnership with Singapore. We also had a wonderful reception here on 17th, and I must say this is going to be more fun than the one we had on the 17th, because this is, but I don't want to stand too long in the way of what is going to be, and is already turning out to be a great reception. But I would be remiss if I did not pay, on behalf of all of you, a great tribute to the guardians of Indian seas, the sentinels of our shores, the angels of hope in every strife and storm in our region, to ambassadors of our goodwill, and to brothers in arms in Indian diplomacy, the great outstanding professionals of the Indian Navy. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give them a big. And today I'm proud to wear the flag of the tie of the Eastern Fleet Command. Thank you, Rear Admiral Das Gupta. Modern Indian history seems to have focused essentially on continental landmass. But through millennia, India's history has been shaped more by the sea, or as much by the sea as it has been shaped by the land. And now, as India's global footprint expands, as our international responsibilities increase, our Navy has once again reclaimed India's ancient maritime heritage. It is an embodiment of our strength. It is a reflection of our great values. It is a value which says that the Indian Navy will do everything to raise its capabilities to protect our nation. But it equally will fulfill every responsibility it has to our region and to the world and to humanity at large. We live in a very, very difficult maritime zone. They have to guard 7,500 kilometers of the shore. They are too modest to admit it. They guard 1,250 islands, 2.5 million square kilometers of exclusive economic zone. But remember, this is also an ocean that accounts for 2/3 of the global energy trade, half the container traffic, and all of this passes very close to India's shores. So they have a responsibility to protect the international sea lanes. This is also a region which is the most disaster prone and perhaps riddled with more conflict and instability than any other part of the world. An Indian Navy has risen to the task in fulfilling each of its responsibilities. It not only works with littoral states to improve their capabilities, conduct the surveillance of their exclusive economic zones, help them with hydrographic survey so that they can know their EEZ better than before. It trains and equips, it exercises with countries. And when it comes to disaster, whether it is the Cyclone Nargis in 2008, or more recently the conflict in Yemen, where our Navy, and it really deserves a round of applause, pulled out 3,000 people from the burning decks of Yemen, 40% of whom were foreign nationals from 48 countries. When it comes to serving humanity, they have never looked at the color of the passport or the color of the skin. And today, we are proud, as they have gone around the world, making friendships, building partnerships, that they are here in a country that is not only one of our most deeply valued friends, one of our closest strategic partners, our gateway to the East, our springboard to ASEAN, but also one of our biggest, strongest, and most enduring defense partners. We have been exercising with Singapore since '94. We speak at ministerial level, we speak at secretary level. Each of the three wings of the armed forces train together. We are together in multilateral forums like IONS, Indian Ocean Naval Symposium, ADMM+, IORA, and in Exercise Milan, which Indian Navy hosts. We're working together to be partners in Malacca Straits Patrol. But above all, we are bound by a common commitment, a real commitment and unwavering faith in a rule-based international order. We believe that there is an inviolable sanctity of international norms, and that every country must adhere to those principles, whether it is in freedom of navigation or settlement of disputes in a peaceful manner in accordance with international law. We believe this because we are both maritime nations, we both have stakes in this region, and we both know that even in the cyber age, maritime is the real key to global future in 21st century. So protecting the sea lanes, responding to disasters, combating piracy, Singapore and India are great partners. And all of this in an environment in which we have the most wonderful political relations, most extraordinary economic partnership, a people-to-people tie, human links that are ancient and that continues to throb on the streets of Singapore and in the lives of every ordinary Indian and Singaporean that you see today. That is the level of our relationship. And it is a relationship that would have been incomplete without the kind of strategic partnership that we enjoy, the relationship of defense partnership that we have, because our future prosperity can only be built on an anchor and a foundation of peace and stability. And we don't do this just by ourselves. We are two countries that believe in an inclusive architecture. We want to work in an atmosphere and an environment of cooperation, consultation, and collaboration. That is what defines our two nations. And that is what is going to define us as we embark on a major exercise in one of the most sensitive, one of the most difficult parts of the world, at least in maritime terms. But we believe, as others do, that we can work together to make this a peaceful and prosperous future for our region and for the world at large. Because what happens in Indian Ocean affects Pacific, what happens in Pacific affects Indian Ocean. We are no longer divided by geography, but united by a common destiny. And it is this destiny that we are here to pursue, ladies and gentlemen. And with your presence, you have once again reaffirmed today the strength of our partnership, the human bonds that define this, and the belief that we have and the pride that we have in our armed forces, in our navies of Singapore and India. So ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you very much.